right, so welcome everybody. My name is Nick Kremp. I'm the conservation agent here. It is 6:01 on May 28th, 2024 at the Leominster Conservation Commission meeting. I just want to remind everyone, please silence any devices you might have, and I will take a roll of the commissioners present to confirm a quorum. Nick Venti.
Aye. Here.
Mike Seeke.
Here.
Rich Gullick.
Here.
And Chuck Raymond.
Here.
And absent are Jim Chambers, Bob Seacard, and Stephanie Quinlan. But we have 4 out of 7, so that's a quorum, and I will hand it off to our chair, Chuck Raymond.
Hey, thank you, Nick. Usually open it up for public comments, but there's no public here, so we'll skip past that agenda item. Just a last minute change to the agenda. We're going to move up the enforcement item from under the regular meeting to the top, because our presenter has a tight schedule tonight. So moving under enforcement, the item is Elm Street, parcel 519-12A clearing. Mr. Morrow.
Sir, thank you very much for moving me up on the agenda. I do appreciate it.
You're
Matt Morrow Environmental Consulting here, representing the owners of the lot on Elm Street that is causing some consternation currently right now. So, as the commission knows, we have a lot on the corner of Hill Street and Elm Street, right across from the kennel, that was cleared, that has a wetland right essentially going through it. I had gone out and done an initial evaluation, wasn't able to complete the evaluation at that point because we had a trench that was done on the side, and it looked initially like you had a wetland from the plans I had obtained from Hannigan Engineering on the other lot next door. It looked like you had a wetland that was meandering through. So you had a wetland that was on the abutting lot on Hill Street up at the top of this lot, what I'll call the north side of the lot, just for sake of discussion. And I went up and I was able to do some soils work right in the line, and I did find hydric soils in an area where there was sensitive fern and Phragmites, and it looks like you had an area based on the grading of the driveway when that house was constructed years ago that caused drainage to go in the area and form a little pocket wetland. This wetland had drainage that would go through the subject lot as shown on the plan that Nick is showing in blue, which would then go down the front side of Hill Street and go in. So what I'm seeing right now, Nick, if I could go to the screen, can I go?
Oh, yeah, please, yeah. If you can fit back here.
Oh, hold on.
I lost a little bit of weight, folks, so I might not.
Right.
You look good, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's the purple shirt.
It definitely is the purple shirt.
That's your color.
So essentially, the original wetland was right here. The wetland path that I'm seeing now is actually going right here. So very similar width, but it's right here
So
instead of right here.
That area that you mainly pointing at, that's the cleared area right in there, correct?
This is the cleared lot.
Right.
There was a wetland on the abutting lot that comes out, which I did find. And there is an area where it does go on the adjacent property. I did not go on there because it's not on the subject property, it's somebody else's lot. But it does start here, it comes down, but instead of curving around this way right now, Nick, if you could pull the screen down just a little bit, it goes this way. And it's not supposed to be doing that. So what I think needs to be done, based on what I'm seeing, is there's a trench that was dug along the sideline here. I'm gonna have Mr. Harper replace this trench,
You fill it in.
fill it in,
Yeah.
and then allow the water course to restore, because what I think is gonna happen is when he does that, it's gonna push the water that's now here this way.
Okay.
The only thing I want to monitor right now, and I am going to have a restoration plan based on this plan done. The only thing I need to monitor is what happens after we fill this, because there's been some alteration out here. There's been some cutting and grading out here that I don't see on these previously approved plans that's now taking place. And there is a pipe coming behind the septic system that comes out here, and it's pouring water onto the property. So I want to monitor that to make sure that it's not going to be problematic for the septic system.
Matt, I do have some photos I took from today. I don't know if
Please.
we can, I don't know how helpful they'll be right now, but.
So the trench that's there now, if it's allowed to remain, would be problematic for the septic system was installed on the adjacent lot because it would be too close to it. So it would create a Title V issue if that were allowed to remain and reestablish as a wetland. It would also,
We've asked it to be packed, and they
Right.
said they would use the same material that
Right.
was taken out.
they can use the same material to take it out, pack it up, and then the water is gonna start moving
Would you
back.
think that should be packed as they're doing it?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I gotta talk to
Just to
Steve.
try to re-establish the conditions that were there
Right, the
before.
previous
That's-
regime.
The previous permeability.
He started to do that, and then he stopped, and I said, you know what, hold off for now, let me take a look at the wetland on the property and see what's reestablished. And you can see that just the limited amount of work he's done has started reestablishing the wetland on its original water course. It's just tucked over a little bit more like where I had pointed out, and I think covering the rest of that trench will move it over back to its original course.
Okay.
Is that an objective of whom? To have that move back to its original course? You're saying part of your restoration thought?
Part of the restoration thought is to have it move back to its original course.
That would occur naturally as the trench is filled in, you're saying, right?
That should occur naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, and it restores in the area that it's in now, it's still gonna restore a very similar area to what was altered. So either way, it's gonna happen,
That's what I'm thinking.
but I have to keep an eye on this. I will come up with a formal narrative on the restoration for you guys. I just need to put it before my clients before I present it here. So I was talking with Nick about mid-June, having everything ready to go for your meeting.
A couple weeks, it's fine.
So our next meeting is on June 11th.
Yeah, I can make it for that.
Is that gonna be all right? All right. So, I don't know if anyone wants to, this is just looking from the southern end of the lot, so from right around here, looking downhill. That's this photo, so you can see kind of a wet spot there. Some of Matt's flags that he placed along here, but again, as Matt said, that's kind of more in the middle of the lot as opposed to
Over on the side.
kind of going around the sides, kind of going down this way. Yeah.
No, I don't have any questions beyond what we've asked before. This sounds like a good plan. We're looking forward to seeing what you come up with.
Okay.
I have a question.
Please.
Is this going to replace or supplement the Christopher Environmental Associates plan from April 22nd?
It's going to supplement it because the Christopher Environmental Associates plan was a preliminary plan of the results of an investigation that both Tom Christopher and I did. So my supplemental work was made to supplement that report. The report was supposed to be in two parts. So essentially what we found was if you actually go, Nick, could I see the plan again?
Yep.
What Tom Christopher was trying to say in his report is that when you actually go into this area right here and this area here and you dig for hydric soils, there are none. Even in this area here, there's no hydric soil. So even in the area where the water was flowing through, the soils are still not hydric. It's still a 10YR like 5.4 was what I was finding, between 5.4 and 5.5. Basically Swiss cheesing this whole area. Your hydric soils are up here off the lot. I was able to find hydric soils right on the lot line so I didn't have to trespass. So it's obvious that you have a wetland drain connecting hydraulically to another wetland down here. And then the wetland in the tree line on the bottom, by Elm Street and Hill, that has all the hydric soils down the bottom. So what you have is a hydraulic connection, a water flow connection from the top to the bottom is what's happening.
So I'm trying to figure out the hydric up there, hydric down there, hydric up there. Obvious wetland, indicative plants in the middle. You have any thoughts on what would make that not indicate hydric soils in between them?
Probably because the water is too intermittent in its flow, but it is there.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, you go there and you start digging holes, all you see is basically, as the old poem goes, brown over yellow.
Yeah.
Happy fellow, brown over yellow.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Would the drainage that they had dug, the trench, have affected that condition?
Not that rapidly. Not to the degree of yellow I saw out there.
Okay.
There were some comments made by myself at our last meeting regarding the site stabilization and restoration plan, which I did not consider to be a restoration plan, more like a stabilization plan. Looked more like a plan to move forward and develop the lot. I can either re-comment or you can look back at what was said at the last meeting in terms of the the
No, I
601?
was made aware of the comments from the last meeting by the property owner.
Okay.
So
So,
that's why I'm here now, to make sure that it's clear exactly what's happening.
I think you look forward to
So,
seeing what you have to say.
it will be an actual restoration plan.
It'll be an actual restoration plan
Lovely.
On June 11th.
on June 11th.
Okay.
Great.
That to me sounds like it may contradict some of these, thus it's supplemental replacement.
That's quite possible. I mean, I've subsequently talked to Tom Christopher about my findings out here when I placed the flags down.
Thank you, Matt.
He went out and looked at them, and he agreed, so.
I'm curious, is there any evidence for the well in its eastern location as drawn there?
You mean this?
Like down around this side
Yeah,
as opposed to down here?
Sneaking around the eastern side of the lot.
I mean, you see some facultative vegetation, but it's facultative. It's not even fact wet, it's more fact. But that's simply because it's starting to regenerate, so your vegetational makeup isn't really gonna be readily apparent right there. That's why it's important to make sure that we get some type of restored hydrology, which it's actually starting to do on its own.
Good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All right, super.
I know you can still see a number of the tree stumps on the eastern side of the lot,
mhm.
but those aren't indicative of,
Honestly, I remember the lot prior to it being cut,
yeah.
and just seeing it from the road, and the tree makeup that was there was not screaming wetland to me.
Yeah, there were a good amount of pines in there.
There was a lot of pines,
Yeah.
there was some red oaks.
Yeah, right.
There was some maple scattered about, but, you know, the type of red maple that grows around here will grow outside of a rocky hill.
Yeah.
Right, correct, yeah.
There's enough water flowing through it, so.
A lot of
Thanks.
facultative, like you said.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that was one of the things we discussed last week.
No, that's an excellent question.
It was unclear. Thanks.
All right, no, I appreciate it.
Mike, you all said you got a question? Okay, good. Thank you.
And again, I really,
Sure, man.
from one commissioner to another, I really appreciate you letting me go. to-
Oh, no worries.
Oh, always.
No worries.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Take care.
It means a lot, I really
All right,
appreciate it.
yeah, no, get out of here.
I'm getting out of here.
Drive safe. We'll see you on June 11th.
All right, see you later.
Thanks, Matt.
Gentlemen,
Thank you,
good to
Matt.
see you. Take it easy.
All right. All right, so moving on then, we'll go back up to new hearings. I'll go ahead and read it into the record. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, the Leominster Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on a request for determination of applicability or an RDA for tree clearing and creation of a trailhead parking area. Address Pierce Street, map and parcel 575-1. Sir, please introduce yourself for the record.
Good evening, my name is John Roseberry. I'm the senior engineer at the Leominster DPW. Like you said, we're here for the RDA on the Pierce Street parking area, which the city recently purchased. I met with Nick Kremp, Steve Ricker, general foreman at the DPW, and Jake Fleming, a business manager. We walk out there, came up with a general idea of where we thought a little parking area could be. The wetlands that are shown here are from the revised subdivision for the Pierce Street subdivision. And we're just outside of the buffer
Oh,
zone.
beautiful.
So our parking areas, we think it's gonna be about 30 by 30, situated on the old cart road. It's basically scrub brush that's grown up along the edge of the road. No mature trees have to come out. Gonna just rub it out and bring in crushed stone, and that'll be it. Basically, we're trying to satisfy the grant that was used
Correct, yeah.
for the purchase of the property, so we need to do it by the end of the month.
Yep.
Understood.
So that's,
It needs to be done by the end of the month?
yeah, so
Wow.
I believe our highway crew is running out there tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Assuming all goes well.
Provided.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great project, so.
So
Yeah, no, is that it?
That's, yeah,
Just,
that's
I had one question, if I could.
Sure.
Please.
So I get the sense that that's gonna be a really popular spot. It's nicely situated, it's got a lot of interest from even the surrounding. Is the 3 to 4 car quota or lot, is that to satisfy the grant, because that's what it says? And is there a plan to be able to expand that? Because I would think that you wouldn't want people parking their cars out on the
Right.
street there.
At the moment, it's just to satisfy the grant.
Okay.
We haven't come up with a big game plan yet.
And you
As
see how
far
it
as,
goes.
you know, like, the amount of, I don't know, maybe we'll have to see exactly how popular it is, you know. Maybe it needs to be 10 or 12 cars big. But I think we'll have, that's probably next year's project.
But this satisfies the grant.
This
so
will
cool.
satisfy the grant.
And get it started.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. It'll-
Promptly.
Plus, there'll be a sign has to be here
Yes.
also, so people know what to do, where to go.
Nice.
We'll get that subdivision sign out of there.
Get the sign.
Actually, that's exactly where I was going at. So assuming this all works out well tonight, yeah. One of the things I keep bringing up, I was the one that signed the paperwork and the whole bit. If we can get that sign the hell out of there, that subdivision, the lots for sale sign, I live right down the street, so I see it several times a week.
Okay,
And it drives me crazy. So while you're there, if you can just take
take the sign out.
your front end loader and pull that stupid sign out of the ground, that'd be great. Or whatever equipment you use, backhoe, whatever.
That shouldn't be a problem.
All right. I have no questions. Anybody else have any questions?
Nope.
Nick?
Could you just clarify, what is the wetland resource there? Is that a stream?
It's an intermittent
It's an
stream.
intermittent
Yeah,
stream?
it's like the top of an intermittent stream,
Yeah,
just
it's-
running
it's
off the
the-
road.
Yeah.
And
Or
then-
does it go that way across the
Goes-
street?
No, it goes towards Massapog.
Oh, it goes that, okay.
Yeah.
So it's near the top of that driveway.
Okay.
Right,
So
of the house
yes.
we
An
visit.
intermittent
Yeah.
stream, and the buffer is 100 feet
Yep.
from that? And that parking lot is to be located east?
It'll be, yeah, roughly
That's-
east.
that's
To the east, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to, thank you, understand.
North is kind of facing this way.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And the road is kind of a high point, kind of along a ridge, so
Yep.
everything flows down that way or down this way.
Yeah, the corner is the low point,
Mm.
the bend in the road.
Yep.
Well said, anybody else? Okay.
Nope.
All right, good. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to close this portion of the hearing.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Is there a second?
All
Thank you.
right, I'll take the commission's vote by roll. Mike Seiki,
Aye.
Nick Venti,
Aye.
Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
Okay.
With that then, Nick, what's your recommendation for the RDA?
So because it's pretty much all the work that's taking place here is outside the buffer, I would recommend -2, that this is not going to change the resource area or the buffer or anything under our jurisdiction.
Thank you, Nick.
Was the -2, am I recalling wrong, wasn't that that it was within our jurisdiction but would not have an impact? This seems not within our jurisdiction and will not have an impact.
This is very unprofessional, I think you're right.
I hear
Let me
you.
pull up the form
That's
here.
why Chuck keeps me over here. Some of these little things, maybe.
Okay.
Takes a PhD to pick up these little things.
I think it's an OCD degree.
Those are positive determinations.
That's positive, yep. Negative.
There we go.
So I'd recommend a -1. That is not an
Okay.
area subject to jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
All right.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay. I'll take the commission's vote by roll. Mike Seiki,
Aye.
Nick Venti,
Aye.
Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Thank you, John.
As soon as the equipment's running out there, you can give them a go.
Thanks for coming in, appreciate it. We're really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
See you,
Yeah.
Jim.
I
Thank
think
you.
it's a good one. Thanks.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, John.
Have a good one. All right. So we will not be opening up the Route 12 project.
Well, the next thing would be Lake Shore, but we won't be opening that.
Oh, I crossed it out and then just, never mind. I skipped, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So
Because we don't have a quorum for that
Right,
discussion.
yeah, with Michael sitting out, there won't be a quorum, so we're not gonna be doing that one.
Yep.
And we will not be opening up the Route 12 one. There was no update on that, so.
Yeah, no file number, we're still waiting on
Yeah,
that.
okay. Alrighty. Moving on then to the last hearing under continued hearings, and I'll read into the record. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, The Leominster Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on a notice of intent for the construction of a residential garage in a wetland buffer zone. Address 300 Day Street, map and parcel 564-90, that's 990, DP number 199-1193.
Yes.
What's happening, Nick?
So we had discussed this back in the beginning of May. Or it might have been.
The previous hearing.
Yeah, it was a previous, yeah, it was a
Pretty
previous
sure, yeah.
meeting. The homeowners came in, were proposing a garage off of a single-family house. Just a garage addition, it was like 22 by 22 feet in the riverfront area. It was all within 100 to 200 foot riverfront area, and the stream in question was on the opposite side of the house. So at that time, we were still waiting on comments and a file number. Part of that was the homeowner didn't pay the full riverfront fee because it was a 50% increase, so they were just waiting on that additional fee. They've since sent that in. DEP has issued their comments, so we can see right here, and they're just referencing the riverfront area again there, and making sure that we're that the proposed plan is satisfying all the riverfront area standards. You know, can't develop more than 10% of the existing riverfront area, all that kind of stuff, which they're way
Yeah,
under
you're close,
with
yeah.
this. So, with all of that, I would recommend that, you know, if there's no more questions or discussion to be had, I would recommend that we approve the order of conditions for the garage.
But just make sure, are there any questions or comments? No, right? Okay, all right.
Pretty
Um,
clear cut.
All right then, we'll go
And
ahead.
everybody was here at the earlier discussion, so
I
they could
believe so,
vote
yeah.
on it?
Yes, I
Yeah.
believe so.
Because they would need to
Yep.
have been, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had a full meeting.
I think we did,
Close to
yeah.
full
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. All right, with that then, with that said, I will entertain a motion to approve the NOI for the, for 300 Day Street for the garage as described by the agent.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Michael, sir, appreciate it. Is there a second?
I second that.
Thank you, Rich.
All right, I will take the commission's vote by roll. Mike Seiki,
Aye.
Nick Venti, Rich Gullick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right.
Actually,
Hmm?
Mike,
No,
you weren't here
yes.
last time. right?
Oh, what's that?
Mike wasn't here?
Mike wasn't here last time, or last time.
Hmm?
Well,
Yeah, the couple was sitting right here in the,
it's the first time that we
Oh, were you
discussed
here?
it,
Yeah.
really.
yeah,
Okay,
So
couple was
the-
sitting here and we,
okay,
yeah,
yeah, you were here, sorry.
I don't miss meetings.
Not a one.
Yeah, you were
Perfect
talking with
attendance.
Jim. I
Huh?
remember you talked with Jim.
All right, so we're all voted,
Yeah.
do we got a second?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
still-
we all-
We don't-
We all
vote,
voted,
okay.
we all voted.
Yeah,
Okay. All right,
all done.
Yeah, we all voted.
all right then.
Mike was here, that was on, well, we discussed, it was last on here, April 30th.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Came up.
So it was
April
the
3rd? Okay. It
two
was only
meetings ago.
four.
Yeah. Chuck was absent,
No, I was saying when they were describing the project.
then it was a different.
Oh, no, you know what it was? I watched it.
Yeah, because you were absent, you would
watched it.
watch for the
Very
other.
good, so
Yeah,
good.
I did watch it, yes.
Glad we checked.
That's what it was.
We should check before.
Wait a minute,
vote
it's like
We
next
should,
time when there was
yes,
a
you
question.
are correct.
Because we
You know-
re-voted.
Yeah.
I probably didn't mention your name now because you were sitting in the audience.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and there was another hearing, another presentation that I watched. I forget which one it was, but I watched that as well.
Mhm.
You're doing your,
It might have been for
Chairman.
the-
Substantive.
it might have been for the Route 12.
it might have been, yeah. All right, moving on then, under outreach, since we've already done Elm Street, Conservation Tree Walk at Barrett Park on June 15th at 9 a.m.
Yeah, that'll be the next Conservation Nature Walk, with kind of a loose theme of summer tree identification. But it's
Much easier than winter twig ID.
yes, yeah, we get all the leaves and all the pretty parts on the trees, couple of flowers and fruits and things.
If
so.
you want it to be really challenging,
Mm.
do a tree walk when the buds have just broken. So there are no buds to look at, and there aren't any leaves yet.
Yeah,
That's challenging.
that is tough.
That's
yeah.
a lot of fun.
That's why I had my winter tree walk in February, right when everything was
Correct,
nice and
right.
full. Right.
You know, so we're gonna hope, like I said, I'm hoping to get there, I'm hoping to bring the dog, so.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It'll be fun.
It'll be hopefully a nice warm summer day, we'll get a nice cool morning
Yeah.
for that walk.
Yeah.
And the last one, just because we're talking about it, was on May 23rd. That was a mountaintop nature walk was the kind of the theme there. So we met on Parmenter Street.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was good. It had about a little more than a dozen people. Some familiar faces, some new faces. Most of the people there had never been to the site, so that's exactly, why I'm doing this, is to
Right.
kind of expose more of the natural areas around town, get more people out there and involved. So it was a good success. Saw a lot of cool spring wildflowers, saw some lady slipper, some azaleas blooming up there. It was very, very pretty. So
Pink ones?
yep.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah,
Good.
we'll keep it rolling with those.
Love it. Love it. Keep it going. Absolutely. I think it's critical.
Me too.
I think it's critical, so.
How
Yeah.
about foraging one?
That'd be good. I've been meaning to do that. Something
Ooh.
edibles, wild edibles. Yeah, and with the tree walk coming up on June 15th, it is getting warmer, so mushrooms will be coming out more and more. So
Yeah.
see some mushrooms, any kind of insects or little creatures that we encounter along the way. We can talk about those as well. So if you're not interested in trees, that's not a reason not to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
All right, under commissioner news, special conditions review. There was obviously a copy of our conditions on the drive. I printed up, I started looking at it and scribbling notes, so I would encourage all of us, including the three who aren't here, to do that, just to go through it and just, even if you just simply have questions, just write a question mark and we can discuss it. How about if we set an actual date, or,
For the discussion.
yeah,
A deadline.
I would say to Nick, how would you like to amass questions and comments on these? Do you want us to edit the PDF? Do you want us to just make hand notes? Does it matter to you?
I think I would leave it up to you guys.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah, so,
Do what?
I'd like to do that. Nick's got other things to
Oh, okay, super.
do.
I appreciate that, thanks, Rich.
you free to work amongst yourselves
Anybody
and
want to send
edit.
me comments, go ahead.
All
Yeah,
right,
Otherwise, you had suggested we really focus on it. We haven't done it yet, obviously.
Yeah, so- next, how about, so maybe not the next meeting, how about if we have an agenda item to discuss this on June 25th?
Okay. At least as far as you guys have reviewed it up to that point.
Yeah, right, yeah, not to have any kind of final.
Okay.
Just
I'd like
a-
to see progress before we put it on the
Yeah.
agenda.
You wanna do that? Okay,
Yes.
all right,
Okay.
okay,
Once somebody gets something done
okay.
from any direction,
That's fine.
maybe then we'll have something
We'll have a-
before we
okay.
put it on.
How about we set a loose goal and then,
I got the date.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
coming
How
up to
about,
the-
so we'll pencil in the 25th, subject to,
And you guys just let
Actually-
me know if you're ready.
Right.
The week
Yeah.
before that, and I'll put the agenda out.
that sound good, Rich?
That's fine.
Thank you for volunteering, I appreciate that. Cool,
Perfect.
all right. Okay. So before we move on to the next meeting, so are there any other items under
Yes.
commissioners people want to talk about?
Yeah, we have minutes that were.
Oh, minutes, right.
On the drive.
That's right, it was, the only one was just February 27th,
It was
right?
February 27th.
Mhm.
We don't have it on the agenda, can we still do that?
It's
Why
minutes.
not? It's not a, yeah.
Yeah, just want to make sure, okay.
I had meant to put it on the agenda, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I went through them, must have been today, earlier today, I made a few comments. I saw you had kind of stomped on
Done
it.
Stuff, a little bit, and Nick had to straighten some out, so I'm not sure where we are exactly on that. Were the edits okay, the way I reworked that one paragraph?
I have not had a chance to look at the edits,
Then let's
honestly.
hold
Okay, so then we won't vote on it,
next
right?
time.
Yeah, okay.
And I should have more, I was talking to Rich earlier about this, I should have at least one or two other minutes ready by the next meeting, and for some, I don't know if anyone's noticed
Yeah,
this,
it's
but
okay.
yeah, so we'll get there. Yeah,
Okay.
Right,
We'll catch up.
moving on.
We trust that, okay, good. All right, so next meeting will be June 11th, 2024. The filing deadline was this past Friday, May 24th at noon. And the meeting after that will be June 25th, 2024. The deadline will be June 7th, Friday, June 7th at noon. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this brief 30-minute meeting.
I'll
Here.
make that motion.
Thank you, Nick. Is there a second?
I will second it.
Thank you, Michael.
All right, I'll take the commission's vote by roll. Mike Siki,
Aye.
Nick Dempsey, Rich Gulick,
Aye.
and Chuck Raymond.
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned at 6:31.